Well, good afternoon. I'm Kathy with FECC, and I'm excited to be here with Rachel Just. Rachel works with the Nurturing Center. She's their outreach and communications specialist, and she is here to talk a little bit with the Workforce Flathead Opportunity Fair about what they offer at the Nurturing Center. All of these videos will live on Job Service Kalispell's YouTube channel, as well as the workforceflathead.com site. So with that being said, if anyone has Q&A throughout this, just put it in the Q&A section and we'll come to it in the last several minutes. Otherwise, we'll just jump on in. Thanks, Rachel. So tell us a little bit about you and what the Nurturing Center offers our community.
Perfect. Thanks so much for having me, by the way. I appreciate you giving us this space to talk about our services because I think they're very, very important. So I work for the Nurturing Center. I do communication and outreach for them. What we do primarily is help folks who need to help finding childcare or need help affording childcare. We connect them with childcare facilities in their area, as well as help them find funding opportunities if they have kind of like low income or, some kind of financial difficulties affording childcare, because it is, of course, quite spendy. Especially, another thing we help out with is folks who are going to school, which is great for, students there who have kiddos who might need a little help affording childcare. We serve Flathead Lake, Lincoln, Sanders counties. So those 4 counties, we serve everyone in those areas. Just kind of helping people, get services that they need and resources. We also have, free diapers, free wipes, free formula, free hygiene kits for folks in need or people experiencing homelessness. So we have those kind of services as well as we do a lot of referrals to outside agencies in the community, in all 4 communities. Kind of a good overview.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. I know I've referred people to you through the years. And so can you share some of the programs you offer? Because I know I looked on your website and there are classes you can take. And then along with that, I'd love to hear a little bit more about that scholarship for childcare.
Absolutely. So the Best Beginning Scholarship, that's really like a state funded pool of money that low-income folks can access to afford childcare. We facilitate that application process and get folks connected to those funds. We are also in the middle of setting up a scholarship fund for folks who don't qualify for Best Beginnings, maybe don't meet that federal guideline for accessing those funds. So that's kind of in the works, and helping more people beyond, what we're already serving. So that's kind of that. What other things did you?
Well, that's what I get for asking a 2-pronged question.
That's okay.
You have so many cool services and programs, but you offer classes as well. Yep. Is that right? Yep. What would be some of those topics of classes?
Definitely. So we have a variety of different classes. So we have classes for childcare providers who want to learn more about evidence-based education for their daycare facilities. But we also offer like parenting workshops, is what we're calling them, or parenting groups, where parents can kind of come together and meet and discuss, issues maybe like how to deal with the terrible twos, or like your kids telling you no, or, those kinds of things that all parents struggle with, right? Mm-hmm. And it kind of gives a community to those parents to be able to get together and meet up and say, like, we're all experiencing this particular issue and we're gonna like talk about it and look at the resources available. So it's really, really cool what we're starting up for parenting groups.
So as a parent, you can feel like you have people to talk to who get it, that you're not in it alone.
Exactly.
That can be really valuable. Now, and I just got an email from one of the local high schools because I have a kiddo there, and there's some sort of class called the Circle. Is it Circle of Trust or Circle something Circle?
Circle of Security.
Okay, that's coming up soon. It sounds like. What is that?
That is a class for providers. I'm not exactly entirely sure all that class entails, but it is for childcare providers to kind of hone in on their skills and get access to that like evidence-based curriculum building and like what is the most age appropriate way to react to these types of issues.
Okay, so you have classes for providers, for childcare providers, and you also have classes for parents like myself.
Exactly.
Okay, and so are you doing things in person now with your classes or remotely? How are you working that?
As far as I know, we are still remote with education. I think that's probably going to change in the next little while. I mean, hopefully, as things start to move into a new normal, we're hoping that we can start seeing people's faces again. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're evolving like all the rest of us as we figure it out as we go and trying to be open to the possibilities for sure. So I'm thinking about the Best Beginning Scholarship, which helps. How does that work? And how would I apply? How would I know I was eligible if I felt like I could really use some financial help with my child's daycare situation?
Absolutely. So the application is located on our website. You just submit an application to us at the Nurturing Center. It's just a questionnaire of like, what's your income? What do you need childcare for? That kind of thing. And then you just submit that application to our office. We go over it and we let you know what you're eligible for, and yeah. And so, yeah, like I said, it's for low income folks. So there is an income guideline, it's pretty standard, federal poverty level guidelines for that particular one. And it does help people with either working a job, going to school and going to a job, or working with like TANF and their work requirements. We actually cover those hours for childcare too. So.
Oh, that's nice that you do that. Well, and it's been a long time since my kids were childcare age. And so I remember, I feel like when I was doing research that I reached out to the Nurturing Center to see if you had a list of childcare providers, or is that still a thing? Does that still happen?
Absolutely. Yes. That is definitely a major service that we offer. We have access to the whole list of childcare facilities in all 4 of those counties. And so we can get folks connected. And I know you all at FECC have a sister campus in Libby, so we can help those folks access childcare and work with them on Best Beginning funds too. So.
Oh, okay. Well, that's really good information. Yeah, and finding childcare is tricky, especially right now. But might be a good first stop for people to at least have a conversation. Do you sometimes find that you refer people to other agencies? Are you kind of a hub like that?
Absolutely. Yep. That's another service that we offer. So we have a new-ish, about a year, we've had a new employee who is a family engagement coordinator. And so what she does is she connects folks in the community to resources, sometimes ours, sometimes to maybe Child Development Center, maybe WIC, maybe Abbey Shelter, any kind of other nonprofit that fits their particular situation. So that's been really, really excellent for us to have that position and be able to work with folks and get them the resources and connections in the community that fit them best.
Okay. Well, and that's good to know, because sometimes if you are trying to do research and you have to connect with a bunch of different places, it can be exhausting. So good to know that you might be that first call.
Definitely.
Well, and you moved, is that right?
We did.
Relocated? Okay. I do have a slide with that information, but you're still in Kalispell.
Yep. We only moved like maybe a block away. We outgrew our cute little house that we had, forever. We just had too many people, too many employees, and we were all scrunched into these tiny little rooms. And so now we have this great, beautiful space that allows us to really like add on to not only just like physical space, but just gives us room to increase our resources and services for folks. It's really exciting.
Well, and here's a random question. Because you do so much, do you work with volunteers, or is this all staff, things that you do?
We're primarily just staff. We do have a volunteer application if people are interested in volunteering and helping out. We are happy to have volunteers. Absolutely.
Okay. And I guess I have one final question, and if you have something specific that you haven't said that you'd like to share, please add to that. But so if you were to sum up in a nutshell, for someone maybe who is new here, who had never heard of you, what is it that you provide to our community in a nutshell as a takeaway?
Right. So I think when I tell people what I do, when I tell people where I work and they're like, well, what's the nurturing center? What's that all about? I say, we do everything early childhood. So while we might not be able to provide the service that you're looking for early childhood, we are in touch and in communication. We have great partnerships throughout the community. And so we like to think of ourselves as that first stop when someone is struggling or, needs help with resources or needs help with financial assistance. We like to think of ourselves as this is where you go first if you have a small kiddo and you want help with that.
Mm-hmm. That sounds terrific. Thank you. And it's good to know that we have such strong partners in the Valley, especially as our community is really looking at the childcare issue and how it influences workforce. And so we appreciate the people who are in the conversation who are invested and experts. So well, Rachel, thank you so much for taking the time today. I know I've peppered you with lots of questions. If people do want to follow up with you, I'm going to put up a slide that has your contact information. At least that is the plan here. And hopefully everyone's seeing that at home. They also have a website that has an email option if email is your preferred communication, and a lot of different program information that I checked out before I talked with Rachel at nurturingcenter.org. So with that being said, Rachel, thank you so much for your time. I look forward to seeing you out in the community. It's been nice seeing you on Zoom.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time.
You take care. Have a good rest of your day.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.